welcome to the garden. This is the first ever terrarium that I created, and I think it's been going on for maybe 9, almost 10 months now. And since then I've added a peach pit, and hopefully it'll sprout, but until then it's providing a little bit of food for the inhabitants. I added a few adult millipedes, and now we have tons of little white millipedes. So I think they've reproduced and are hopefully cleaning up the terrarium. I've removed a few dead leaves, but some I've also pressed into the soil to sort of decompose and provide a little food for those worms. The healthiest plant right now is this native fern. We have 2 varieties of fern. This native one, which is just acclimated beautifully, and then we have this sort of a decorative one. But if you look closely, we can see 2 new fiddleheads forming. So it may rebound, but we had to remove a lot of those dead leaves. So we're just left with this one. So I'm going to pop the jar, and I'll be using a spray bottle and a little stick, because there's a couple spots we need to scrub up. So I'm kind of just scrubbing down all those pieces there. We'll try and be delicate around our little millipede buddies, but they can just go into the soil or onto the moss, and they'll climb right back up on the glass. So a little scrub, a little spray. That looks great. It's been months since I've watered this, so I think it could use a little extra water too. I've pulled out all the dead leaves. There's a couple that are still sort of dying, but like this dead leaf actually looks like it's been munched a bit. Look at that. There are a couple fern leaves that pressed up against the glass and died, so they're kind of caked on in the back here. I think the worms will eat those, and maybe even the millipedes. There was an isopod in here at one point, but I haven't seen it for a long time. Moss is, I think, the most important plant in here. Moss can tolerate low light and lots of moisture, and those are in abundance in terrariums. But our strawberry is also still alive. I don't think we're ever going to get it to flower and fruit, but it's acclimated quite nicely. And then there is one more plant. I believe that one is a little leaf buttercup, and that was just a volunteer. That sprung up all on its own. Stay tuned if you want to see if this peach pit sprouts for us. I think that's been a really interesting addition to the terrarium. If you want to see how we created this one, you can click right over here. And if you want to see my other terrarium, you can click over here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.